Hey guys, thanks for joining me again. What I've got here is the RHOX 7-inch A-arm suspension, and as you can see, this is not the factory ones that the factory springs. And if you read and do any research, factory springs and shocks, you'll see that it comes with this beast right here. Okay, so that, look how thick that thing is. Okay, maybe if you had all the lead acid batteries, this might work. Actually, it would be very, very stiff. The good part about this is it is a good quality looking shock, or at least spring. So I've ended up going with some of the forums and things with these RFY knockoff Chinese shocks. Okay, these seem to be working very well. I did torque it down. This is a lithium card. I got 3 lithium 30 amp hour batteries. So with me and another full-size adult, it's probably just slightly overloaded just in the front, but other than that, just normal driving by myself, it's perfectly fine. And I do still have some adjustment, probably at least another inch or ½ inch. I could torque that down. One thing about these aren't perfect, okay? These aren't excellent shocks, and they do work. Let me show you over here on this one. This is the problem I have with these. Right here, the bushing is pushing out, and it's such soft rubber that it's leaving a lot of slack. So I'm having to figure out a bushing thing here, okay? One other thing with this RHOX is the steering box, okay? I've seen people that don't have these spacers on here, and I don't know how it's functioning properly. This travel, the original shocks are 16 inches from bolt to bolt. From here down to here is 16 inches. With that fully extended, this steering arm would not bolt up, okay? It was about almost an inch off, okay? So in order to make that bolt in, you had to push and bind this up quite a bit. All right, you can see how much I spaced it quite a bit. Okay, these shocks are, these aftermarket shocks, RFYs, I think they were 15 3/4. Now I did extend it out just maybe a ½ inch. So I'm pretty close to back to that 16 inch measurement. But you can see I need to build a bracket right here. I've got a nut and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 washers spacing the steering box down. And what that allowed is this angle on the knuckle right here to, when this is fully extended, when the shock, like if I take the weight off and it fully extends, for this not to be bound up or bending, okay? Eventually, if you go up and down into that full extension, you're gonna bend this right here. So in order to get this proper, I'm not talking about with weight on it. Of course, it's pretty good right now. But if you go over a bump, this A-arm goes down to full extension, and that's gonna bind this. If you're just driving on normal roads or normal surfaces, you'll probably never notice. But like the whole point of me putting this on was so I could go off-roading with a electric silent cart. Okay, issues. Again, the shock, the steering column right here not being mounted properly. Okay, the next issue I have right here, this bushing, you can see I have a green bolt. This is a 7/16 bushing in here. The hole is a 10 millimeter. See down here, I didn't change it yet. This is a 10 millimeter hole here, but a 7/16 bushing through here. Okay, so what was happening is when I pull on the wheel, you get all this slack. That still happens in all of these bolts. So at some point, I'm gonna have to drill the frame to 7/16 and put a 7/16 bolt in here to make all this tight. You get some rattling when you go over bumps and things. Okay, let's look at this right here. So the way they've got this adjustment, I don't know if I can make it do it, but there's play in this coarse thread adjustment right here. You really should have a fine thread adjustment for this camber. I think that's what it's called. So we have that issue. So this issue, also these bushings in this configuration make a lot of noise as you're moving up and down, because these poly bushings, they kind of are noisy. Okay, so that, I think that was it. I did end up mounting my winch. I welded the plate back there on the very back and put the guard up here. Only thing I would say is I should have noticed that my cable is dragging on the winch plate. So I tried to get it centered of these little cutouts, but I should have moved it up one notch, and that would have got my cable off of that. I don't use it a lot. I just kind of pull it out when I'm hauling it on a trailer. So that's it. Okay, I don't know if this helps you decide. There are some other options that I've looked at, maybe be better, but I do think they also have these heavy duty shocks on some of these other A-arm kits. Maybe not. This kit rides amazing now. So the only thing I need to do on it now is the bolts and find some Teflon bushings. One last thing, if this kit says it's good for an 01, and let me just explain, this cart is a 96 cart, so you can see that it's got some wear over here. And if you don't know, I didn't know at the time, the 96 steering box goes right here, up on here, and in 01 they moved down to this steering box down here, this rack and pinion setup. So I had to custom make a bracket that I still need to work on a little bit right there. And so my steering box bolted on right here on this plate. I just made an angle bracket to go behind this frame, and I need to make a couple more gussets here because it's a little bit loose. I had to buy a steering column. Okay, I'll put all that in the description below, all these pieces that I got, if you decide to do that. If you have a good cart like I did, I've already done the controller and other things. So that's it. Next, I'll go over the 4-link suspension. I'll kind of go over some of the things that I did there. I'll have another video on that. Okay, there's a view of that, and I've got the SUNF 27 9x12s on some casinos, 3x4 offsets. Okay, thanks for watching.